Hello friends, in one of the previous videos I was showing you my hybrids, my crosses, my cross pollinations between true Adenium Socotranum and red double. How the body is somewhat more branchy than true Socotranum, leaves very much like Socotranum, flowers quite like dark red but very unoften double. Well, let me update you. True Adenium Socotranum grows many years before it starts to bloom. But not this one, because I grafted it on fast growing rootstock of Adenium obesum. I crossed it with this type of Adenium that has flowers with pronounced, to me, veins, but technically it's called nectar guides. Beautiful, right? And the resulted of spring just bloomed for first time. Here it is. Again, the body is very much like Socotranum. The leaves are very much like Socotranum. And the flower has a little bit of nectar guides, of veins. If you take a look inside of that sort of throat. And meanwhile, I'm starting third cross of true Socotranum with Adenium cultivar broccoli, the one that's very twiggy, very branchy. Let me show you how it looks. Looks like this when it's in the ground. Looks like this when it's in big pot. And looks like this when it's in a big pot, a little bit pruned. And how would the offspring look? Well, that remains to be seen a few years from now. But that it's not all, I would like to show you as an update on my trials and tribulations of growing true Socotranum. While this one bloomed several years already because it's grafted, today one of my two ungrafted is showing a promise of first bloom. It has flower buds. Few months more than 8 years after planting the seeds. This one not yet, but this one does. Maybe I should post the video after it blooms so it can show its beautiful flower. Oh, and one more thing. while true Adenium Socotranum is terribly slow growing. The crosses grow quite nicely and make also good rootstock. Here, in a palm-like form, is a hybrid between true Adenium Socotranum and red plumery, deep red double petal adenium, being a rootstock to dwarf desert rose, which grew this much because it's grafted. Hopefully, maybe next year, blooming already. Just check it out and compare to its siblings that are ungrafted. Here they are. Each one slightly different size leaves. The smallest leaf is growing slowest. A little bigger leaf is growing a little faster, but not comparable to the grafted one. It'll grow even faster if grafted on even faster growing rootstock, but then it would be mismatched between two plants growing at a very different speed of rate of speed. In 4 or 5 years, the rootstock could strangle the scion and the whole thing can die at the top. So a little slower growing rootstock than the maximum fast is much better. Okay, I'll stop filming, and when true Socotranum flower opens, I'll still make a shot of that for your viewing pleasure. Alright, 4 days passed and the flower opened. This is how looks the bloom of a rarest of the species of Adenium, the true Adenium Socotranum from the island of Socotra off the coast of southern Africa. It took 8 years, which is a lot, but from other people that I heard, it took even longer, even 10 or 15 years. Well, I have nothing to brag about though, because I started with 50 seeds and actually I have only 2 plants alive left. Now I can open the flower, look for the pollen and make a cross. I'm not sure crossing with what, because I already crossed it with red double obesum and with adenium that has a pronounced nectar guides, and with a leaf dwarfing broccoli, and I even back crossed the one that was crossed with double red obesum. Oh well, I'm gonna look for something interesting and then I'll do it. And if it'll work, I'll let you know. And even if it won't, I'll let you know about something else, about my trials and tribulations of growing adeniums or some other interesting plants. Until then, goodbye friends, goodbye.